Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into God's design for love, relationships, and the incredible journey He has planned for your heart. If this is your first time here, I'm so grateful you found us, and I want you to hit that subscribe button right now, because what we're about to uncover today is going to shift everything you thought you knew about love and recognition. Today, we're talking about something that's happening right under your nose. Something so beautiful and so intentional that it'll make your heart skip a beat when you finally see it. Someone is madly, deeply, completely in love with you right now, but they're not saying it outright. Instead, they're showing you through their actions, through the way they treat you differently than everyone else, through the special care and attention they pour into your life when you're not even looking for it. God designed love to be revealed, not just spoken, and sometimes the most profound declarations of love come wrapped in everyday moments that we almost miss if we're not paying attention. You see, when someone truly loves you, really loves you with that deep, soul-stirring, God-breathed kind of love, they can't help but treat you like the treasure you are, even before they work up the courage to say those three little words. They're studying you, learning you, cherishing you, and hoping desperately that you'll notice the way their eyes light up when they see you, the way they remember every little detail you mention, the way they go out of their way to make your life easier and brighter. Maybe you've been wondering if anyone could ever love the real you, the messy you, the you that's still healing and growing. Maybe you've been praying for love, but doubting it could find you where you are right now. Let me tell you something that's going to change how you see the love that's already surrounding you. This isn't about playing games or reading into things that aren't there. This is about recognizing the authentic, pure, intentional love that God places in people's hearts for you. Love that's so real they can't contain it even when they're trying to be subtle. By the end of this video, you're going to have 8 powerful ways to recognize when someone is absolutely head over heels for you, but showing it through treatment rather than words. You're going to feel seen, valued, and incredibly loved because that's exactly what you are. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into these beautiful signs that someone is loving you louder than words could ever say. Number 1. They remember everything you say, even the small things. When someone is in love with you, your words become precious to them in a way that goes beyond normal friendship or casual interest. They're not just hearing you, they're treasuring every single thing that comes out of your mouth because it's coming from someone who has captured their heart completely. You mention in passing that you love sunflowers, and 3 weeks later they surprise you with a sunflower coffee mug. You casually say you're stressed about a presentation at work, and they text you the morning of to wish you luck and remind you how capable you are. You tell them about your childhood favorite candy during a random conversation, and somehow it appears on your desk or in your car when you least expect it. This isn't coincidence, beautiful soul. This is love in action. When someone loves you, your words create imprints on their heart that they can't ignore or forget. They remember because you matter to them more than they're ready to admit out loud. They remember because loving you has made them incredibly attentive to everything that brings you joy, causes you stress, or makes you feel seen and understood. Scripture tells us in 1 Corinthians that love keeps no record of wrongs. But I believe love absolutely keeps a record of everything that matters to the person they adore. They remember your stories about your family, your dreams for the future, your fears and insecurities, your favorite things, and the things that make you laugh until your stomach hurts. This level of attention isn't normal friendship behavior, and it's definitely not something they're doing for everyone in their life. When someone remembers that, You mentioned wanting to try that new restaurant downtown, or that you said you've been meaning to read a particular book, or that you're nervous about an upcoming appointment. They're telling you without words that you occupy a special place in their thoughts. They're showing you that conversations with you aren't just background noise in their day. They're highlights that they replay and treasure long after you've said goodbye. This remembering isn't just about the big things either. It's especially about the tiny details that most people let slip through the cracks of their memory. They remember how you take your coffee, which side of the bed you prefer to sleep on during movie nights, that you always get cold in restaurants and need a sweater. They remember that you bite your lip when you're thinking, that you scrunch your nose when you laugh really hard, that you always check your phone twice before leaving the house. These details might seem insignificant to you, but to someone who loves you, they're the beautiful intricacies that make you uniquely you. When someone pays this kind of attention to your words and stores them in their heart like treasures, they're loving you in a way that honors how God sees you, as someone whose every word and quirk and preference matters, because you matter infinitely. Number 2. They go out of their way to make your life easier. Love doesn't just feel good, it acts good. And when someone is in love with you, they become naturally motivated too. Lighten your load and smooth your path wherever they can. This isn't about grand gestures or expensive gifts, though those might happen too. This is about the consistent, thoughtful, behind-the-scenes ways they make your daily life better, simply because they can't stand to see you struggling or stressed. They notice when you're overwhelmed at work, so they show up with your favorite lunch or offer to help you organize your thoughts by listening to you talk through your projects. They see that you're exhausted from a long week, so they surprise you by handling that errand you mentioned dreading, or by cleaning something in your space that you haven't had time to tackle. They pay attention to your schedule and remember when you have big deadlines, difficult appointments, or challenging days ahead, and they find ways to support you through those seasons. Maybe they text you encouraging words on the morning of a big presentation, or they make sure you have everything you need for a stressful day, or they simply show up to be a calming presence when life feels chaotic. This behavior reveals a heart that has become deeply invested in your well-being and happiness. When someone loves you, your struggles become their concern, not because they're trying to fix you or control your life, but because love naturally wants to serve and support. They offer to drive you to the airport at an inconvenient time because they know you hate dealing with parking. They remember that you mentioned needing to return something to a store, and they offer to do it for you when they're already going to be in that area. They bring you soup when you're sick, pick up groceries when you're too busy, or handle phone calls that you've been putting off because you find them stressful. Beautiful thing about this sign is that it's not about them trying to prove anything or earn your affection through acts of service. It's about love overflowing naturally into practical care, because they genuinely want your life to be as peaceful and joyful as possible. They're not keeping score or expecting anything in return. They're simply responding to the way love moves them to action on your behalf. Biblical love is described as patient and kind, and this kind of practical service demonstrates both qualities beautifully. They're patient with your busy seasons, your chaotic schedule, your moments of feeling overwhelmed, and they respond with kindness that shows up in tangible, helpful ways. When someone consistently looks for opportunities to make your life easier, they're showing you a preview of what it looks like to be loved by someone who sees caring for you as a privilege, rather than an obligation. They're demonstrating that love isn't just a feeling they have, It's an action they choose over and over again because you're worth their time, energy, and thoughtful attention. Number 3, they light up when they see you in ways they don't with others. There's something absolutely magical that happens when someone who loves you catches sight of you across a room. And if you start paying attention, you'll notice this beautiful phenomenon happening more often than you might realize. Their entire countenance changes the moment you walk into their line of vision. Their shoulders relax. Their smile becomes genuine and wide. Their eyes get brighter. And there's an energy shift that's unmistakable if you know what to look for. This isn't the polite smile they give to acquaintances or even the warm greeting they share with good friends. This is the involuntary, from the soul response that happens when someone you love appears in your world and makes everything feel a little more right. You might notice that they were having a normal conversation with someone else. But when you join the group, they become more animated, more engaged, more themselves in the most beautiful way. It's like you bring out a version of them that's more alive, more joyful, more authentic than they are in other social situations. When someone loves you, your presence doesn't just add to their day, it transforms it. They might be having a difficult moment, feeling stressed or tired or overwhelmed, but when you show up, something shifts in their spirit, not because they're depending on you to fix their mood, but because love has a way of lifting us up and reminding us of the good and beautiful things in life. Pay attention to how they greet you compared to how they greet others. Notice the difference in their voice. When they say your name versus when they're talking to other people, watch their body language when you enter a space where they already are, and see if there's a subtle but noticeable change in their posture, their energy, their overall demeanor. This kind of response isn't something they can fake or manufacture, and it's definitely not something they're consciously choosing to do. It's the natural, authentic reaction of a heart that has been captured by love and can't help but respond when the object of that love is near. Scripture talks about how iron sharpens iron, and there's something about being in the presence of someone we love that brings out the best, most vibrant version of ourselves. When someone lights up around you, they're showing you that you have a unique ability to bring joy, peace, and life into their world. They're revealing that you don't just occupy space in their day. You enhance it in ways that other people simply don't. This doesn't mean they're unhappy when you're not around, but it does mean that when you are around, everything feels more colorful, more hopeful, more alive. If you've been wondering whether someone has special feelings for you, start noticing how they respond to your presence compared to how they interact with others. Love creates a distinctive warmth and energy that's impossible to hide completely. And when someone is in love with you, you become a source of light in their life that they can't help but respond to with their whole being. Number 4. They create opportunities to spend time with you alone. When someone is in love with you, they crave your company in a way that goes beyond wanting to hang out in groups or casual social settings. They want to know you, really know you, and they understand instinctively that the deepest, most meaningful connections happen in moments of privacy and intimacy. So they start creating opportunities, sometimes very subtly, to spend time with just you. They might suggest grabbing coffee to catch up, even though you just saw each other at a group gathering. They offer to help you with errands or projects that could easily be done alone, but they frame it as wanting to spend time together while being productive. They invite you to activities that naturally lend themselves to one-on-one interaction, like hiking, trying a new restaurant, attending a concert, or even just taking a walk around the neighborhood. These invitations might seem casual on the surface, but there's an intentionality behind them that reveals their desire to deepen your connection. They're not satisfied with only knowing the version of you that exists in group settings. They want to discover the layers of your personality that only emerge when you feel safe and unguarded. When someone loves you, they become fascinated by your thoughts, your perspectives, your stories, your dreams, and the unique way you see and experience the world. They want to hear about your childhood, your family, your goals, your fears, your faith journey, and all the experiences that have shaped you into who you are today. Group settings don't allow for this kind of deep sharing, so they instinctively seek out opportunities for the two of you to connect on a more intimate level. You might notice that they remember things you mentioned wanting to do or try, and then they suggest doing those things together. If you said you've been wanting to visit a particular museum, they'll bring up going together. If you mentioned wanting to learn something new, they'll offer to explore that interest with you. This shows that they're not only paying attention to your words, but they're also thinking about how they can share experiences with you that align with your interests and desires. The beautiful thing about this sign is that it reveals someone who values quality time as an expression of love and care. They understand that relationships deepen through shared experiences and meaningful conversations that happen when distractions are minimized and attention can be fully focused on each other. Biblical community and relationship are built on the foundation of genuine fellowship, which often happens most powerfully in intimate settings where hearts can be shared openly and authentically. When someone consistently seeks out opportunities to be alone with you, they're showing you that you're not just someone they enjoy being around, you're someone they want to know more deeply and connect with more meaningfully. They're investing in the possibility of a relationship that goes beyond surface-level friendship, because they see something special in you that they want to explore and cherish. Number 5, they remember important dates and events that matter to you. Love pays attention to what matters to the beloved, and when someone is in love with you, the dates and events that are significant in your life become significant to them as well. This goes far beyond remembering obvious occasions like birthdays, though they definitely won't forget those either. They remember the anniversary of losing someone important to you, and they reach out on that difficult day to let you know they're thinking of you and holding you in prayer. They remember when you have medical appointments that you're nervous about, and they text you beforehand to encourage you and afterward to check how everything went. They remember the date of your job interview, your graduation, your family reunion, or any other event that you mentioned being excited or anxious about. This level of calendar awareness isn't accidental, and it's not something they're doing for everyone in their life. When someone loves you, they become emotionally invested in the rhythms and seasons of your life, because your joys become their joys and your concerns become their concerns. They mark important dates in their own calendar or phone because they don't want to miss opportunities to celebrate with you, support you, or simply acknowledge that something meaningful is happening in your world. Maybe you casually mentioned that it's been a year since you started a new job, moved to a new city, or began a healing journey, and they surprise you by acknowledging that milestone with a thoughtful message or small celebration. Perhaps you told them about a goal you're working toward, like training for a race or finishing a creative project, and they remember to ask about your progress and encourage you along the way. This behavior reveals a heart that has become attuned to the details of your life, because love makes us care about what affects the people we cherish. They remember because you matter to them, and what matters to you naturally becomes important to them as well. It's not about having a perfect memory. It's about having a heart that holds space for the significant moments and seasons in your life. When someone consistently remembers and acknowledges the dates and events that are meaningful to you, they're showing you that they're paying attention to your life with the kind of care and intentionality that goes beyond casual friendship. They're demonstrating that you're not just someone they enjoy spending time with occasionally. You're someone whose entire life journey they want to witness, support, and celebrate. Scripture encourages us to rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. And this kind of attentive remembering allows them to do exactly that. They can celebrate your victories because they remembered they were coming. And they can offer comfort during difficult times because they were aware of the challenges you were facing. This sign is particularly beautiful because it shows someone who wants to be present for all seasons of your life, not just the fun and easy moments. They want to be the person you can count on to remember what's important to you, to show up for you emotionally even when life gets complicated, and to demonstrate through their attentiveness that your life and experiences are valuable and worth remembering. Number 6. They defend you and speak highly of you when you're not around. One of the most beautiful and telling signs that someone is in love with you is how they talk about you when you're not there to hear it. Love doesn't just treat you well. To your face, it protects and honors your reputation in your absence. And it speaks about you with the kind of respect and admiration that reflects the genuine affection in their heart. When someone loves you, they become naturally protective of how others perceive and treat you. If someone makes a negative comment about you, they don't just stay silent or nod along to keep the peace. They speak up, not in an aggressive or confrontational way, but with the kind of loving firmness that makes it clear they won't tolerate disrespect towards someone they care about. They might say something like, "That hasn't been my experience with them at all," or "I think you might be misunderstanding the situation," or simply, "I don't think it's fair to talk about them that way." This protective instinct comes from a place of love that can't bear to hear someone they cherish being misrepresented or criticized unfairly. But it's not just about defending you when others speak negatively. They also actively speak positively about you in conversations where your name comes up naturally. They mention your kindness, your talents, your accomplishments, your character qualities, and the ways you've impacted their life and the lives of others. They brag about you in the most beautiful way, not to gain anything for themselves, but simply because they're genuinely proud to know you and they want others to see the wonderful qualities they see in you. You might hear from mutual friends that this person mentioned how impressed they were with something you did, how much they enjoy your sense of humor, how they admire your strength during difficult times, or how grateful they are for your friendship. These second-hand compliments are incredibly meaningful because they reveal someone's true feelings when they have nothing to gain from sharing them. They're not trying to impress you or earn points with you by saying these things. They're simply expressing the genuine love and admiration they feel. Scripture tells us that out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And when someone consistently speaks well of you in your absence, they're showing you what's really in their heart. Love naturally wants to honor and protect the beloved, and it can't help but overflow into words of appreciation and respect. This behavior also reveals someone with integrity and character, because it takes maturity and genuine care to consistently speak well of others when there's no immediate benefit to doing so. Anyone can be kind to your face, but someone who loves you will be kind about you behind your back as well. When someone defends you and speaks highly of you when you're not around, They're showing you that their love and respect for you isn't performative or conditional. It's authentic, consistent, and rooted in a deep appreciation for who you are as a person. They're treating your reputation as something precious that deserves to be protected and honored, which is exactly how love should treat the people it cherishes. Number 7. They notice and care about your emotional state and energy. When someone is in love with you, they develop an almost supernatural ability to pick up on the subtle changes in your mood, energy, and emotional state. Love creates a unique attunement between hearts that allows someone to sense when you're not quite yourself, even when you're trying to hide it or haven't said anything about what you're feeling. They notice when you seem a little quieter than usual, when your smile doesn't quite reach your eyes, when your energy feels different even though you're going through the motions of normalcy. And more importantly, they care enough to gently ask if you're okay, or to create space for you to share what's on your heart if you want to. This isn't about being nosy or intrusive. It's about love making someone incredibly sensitive to the well-being of the person they care about. They might say something like, "You seem a little off today. Is everything all right?" Or, "I can tell something's weighing on your heart. Do you want to talk about it?" They ask not because they're expecting you to share every detail of your inner world, but because they want you to know that you're seen, that your feelings matter, and that you don't have to carry heavy emotions alone if you don't want to. When you're happy and excited about something, they pick up on that energy too, and they respond with genuine enthusiasm that matches your joy. They celebrate your good days with you, not just because they're being polite, but because your happiness actually makes them happy. Love has a way of creating emotional resonance between people, where your joy becomes their joy and your pain becomes their concern. They remember when you've had a difficult week or a challenging situation, and they check in with you to see how you're processing and coping. They notice when you seem stressed, overwhelmed, sad, frustrated, or any other emotion that might be affecting your peace and well-being. This level of emotional awareness and care goes far beyond what most people offer in casual relationships. It reveals someone who has become emotionally invested in your inner world because they love you deeply enough to want to know not just what you're doing, but how you're truly feeling about what you're experiencing. Biblical love is described as bearing one another's burdens, and this kind of emotional attentiveness creates the foundation for that kind of deep, supportive care. They want to be someone you can trust with your feelings, someone who will hold space for your emotions without judgment, and someone who will offer comfort, encouragement, or just a listening ear when you need it. When someone consistently notices and cares about your emotional state, they're showing you that you matter to them as a complete person, not just the happy, easygoing version of yourself. They want to know and love all of you, including the parts that struggle, worry, grieve, and feel overwhelmed sometimes. This kind of emotional care and attention is a beautiful expression of love that honors the fullness of your humanity and creates safety for authentic vulnerability and connection. Number 8. They include you in their future plans and dreams, naturally. When someone is in love with you, you stop being just a part of their present and start becoming a part of how they envision their future, often in ways that feel natural and unforced rather than pressured or presumptuous. They begin including you in conversations about their dreams, goals, and plans, not because they're trying to trap you into commitment, but because love has made it difficult for them to imagine their future without you in it somehow. They might mention a vacation they want to take someday and naturally include you in that vision, saying something like, "I think you would love this place. We should go together sometime." They talk about events happening months from now, and assume you'll be part of their life to share those experiences. When they discuss career moves, life changes, or major decisions, they consider how those choices might affect your relationship and your ability to stay connected. This inclusion happens organically because when someone loves you, you become woven into the fabric of how they see their life unfolding. They're not trying to pressure you into making commitments or declarations. They're simply sharing their heart's desire for you to be part of their journey in whatever way feels natural and healthy. Maybe they mention a concert coming to town in 6 months and immediately think of getting tickets for both of you. Perhaps they talk about a project they want to work on and naturally include you in their plans because they value your input and enjoy your company. This sign is particularly meaningful because it shows someone who isn't just caught up in the emotions of the moment, but who has genuinely considered what it would look like to build something lasting and meaningful with you. Biblical love is described as patient and enduring, and this kind of future-focused inclusion demonstrates someone whose love is grounded in long-term commitment and genuine partnership rather than temporary infatuation. They see you as someone worth planning for, dreaming with, and building a future alongside because you've captured not just their heart for today, but their vision for tomorrow as well. When someone naturally includes you in their future plans and dreams, they're showing you that love has made you an integral part of how they hope their life story will unfold. Beautiful soul, if you've recognized even a few of these signs in someone's behavior toward you, you are being loved more deeply than you might have realized. God has placed someone in your life who sees your worth, treasures your presence, and is choosing to love you through their actions while they work up the courage to love you with their words. These signs aren't about games or manipulation. They're about authentic love expressing itself in the most genuine ways possible. Someone is showing you every single day that you matter, that you're special, that you're worth their time and attention and care. Don't let fear or past hurts blind you to the beautiful love that's being offered to you right now. Sometimes we miss love because we're looking for it to show up in specific ways, or we're protecting ourselves from vulnerability. But God's design for love often unfolds gradually, through consistent actions that prove character and intention long before words are spoken. If you've seen yourself in this video, if you've recognized someone who treats you with this kind of special care and attention, maybe it's time to open your heart to the possibility that you are truly loved. Maybe it's time to have a conversation, to acknowledge what you're noticing, to create space for love to be expressed more fully. You deserve to be loved exactly the way these signs demonstrate, with attention, care, protection, and genuine delight in who you are. Don't settle for less than someone who lights up when they see you, who remembers what matters to you, who includes you in their dreams for the future. If this video opened your eyes to love that's already present in your life, or gave you hope for the love that's coming, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into God's beautiful design for relationships and love. Share this video with someone who needs to recognize the love that's already surrounding them, and let me know in the comments which sign resonated most with your heart. You are so incredibly loved, chosen one, and I'm believing with you for relationships that honor God and celebrate the beautiful, worthy person you are. Until next time, keep your heart open to love in all its wonderful forms.